cheese, and they is at this restaurant, and I didn't notice, but it comes standard with ghost pepper cheese. I didn't know that. So, and for all of our viewers that are watching now, ghost pepper is very, very hot cheese, and I found out very quickly. Yeah, Daddy can't do hot cheese anymore. It's not.
So, was it kind of like pepper jack or?
No, it was ghost pepper cheese. He called it ghost pepper. It was.
I don't like the idea of like hot, like cheese being spicy. I don't like. It just it's not. That's not something that like I will eat nachos with jalapenos on them, right? So
I like jalapenos. The cheese. So absolutely.
There will definitely. I'm definitely not a stranger to spice being with cheese, but for the cheese itself to be the spice itself, that just doesn't. I don't know. It doesn't really compute super well for me. I don't know why.
See, I tried some really good habanero pepper jack style cheese, and it was good.
That's another thing. Now, Dakota, you'd know this. For the Cincinnati style chili, they started putting out habanero cheese on it.
Ooh.
And I'm sorry, I love Cincinnati chili. I love three ways.
Yeah, you do
all that stuff, but not with that cheese. It just takes away from the taste.
Yeah, I mean chili dogs.
Then I'll turn right around and I'll put hot sauce on it. So I mean,
chili dogs are definitely supposed to be just with like a cheddar. I feel just with something plain. No need to church that recipe up.
I like hot sauce, but when you add it to the cheese, I think it just tastes different. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's weird. It just tastes. I don't care for it.
Yeah, that's strange. Welcome to Stasis Like episode 182. We're back from our shenanigans of last week. So anyone who missed the draw last week, you can check it out on our Facebook page. Scroll down a little ways, you'll find it. And congrats to the winner. So just get that little PSA out of the way. Hopefully, we should be able to go full bore tonight. I think the reason why we got pulled is because I put the R word in the description. And not the RE word, but the RA word. That makes anyone knows Facebook stuff. They call them waffles now instead of anyways.
Waffles.
I'm your host, Primal Sabbath. You can find me everywhere at Primal Sabbath. We're joined by Brett tonight. What's up, Brett? Where can people find you, man?
Mega Must Make a Toy Fan on Facebook.
And Candace?
Hi. You can find me.
Nice intro. I like it. Candice.Santora or Candace Santora. Just search for me around social media. I'm sure you'll come across something.
Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number. So Dalton, where can people find you?
You can find me every week on Stasis Lock as Social Distance Dalton, and everywhere else as Daltonians TFs.
That's good, man. You're doing your part. Did anybody get anything this week, Brett?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
Well, I showed it on the group. No one seemed to care, so
I didn't even see it. I've had that.
You saw it. I showed it to you yesterday.
Well, tell us here, and then we'll care.
Texted me. I muted the group like a week ago.
So cute.
Oh,
it's a little knockoff. It's about a little bigger than 3/4, scale. But I love it. He's cute. And he
don't deserve the hobby. Get out of the hobby.
Look
at that weird is that the head from Power Pinch on it?
Yeah, like Dead End.
Let's see here. See if I can get a close up.
Power Pinch?
Sorry, I was thinking of Power Hug.
Is that helping at all?
Get that G1 shit out of here.
Is that my Nickel 95 camera working?
Yeah, it's so weird, man. That's the thing that threw me off the most. It definitely shines in beast mode for sure. But then I was like, bro, why'd they put the Power Pinch head on the screen?
I actually just I didn't even really look at the head. I looked at the colors, the fact that they resculpted the claws, so they both have blasters.
Yeah.
And then you're
you could do that with the original. You could take the missile launchers from like one that's like a junker and just do a transplant. Yeah.
It just like they did. Like I said, I told you, if you look, the left and the right shoulders are the same. That's why one has a screw hole and the other one doesn't. They just flipped them around because they're cheap.
They just flip the entire arms around.
Yeah. But
that's funny.
That needs to be the next.
For $10, I can't, you ain't gonna balk too much. But I liked it. I like that goofy stuff. So. And he looks even
That's
better.
fair. I wish they made like a Dinobot that was kind of crazy like that, you know? I'd have bought that.
Here you see,
I'd have bought that real quick. So in the chat, we got Ghost Lord Peter, TM2DB. Brother Kyle, what's up, man? Glad to see you on time this week. Leonardo11 and Jacob Vandenberg. Man, he was like, dude, I'll never be late again. They just got taken down last week. Dalton, did you get anything this week?
I did. I got some weird stuff this week, I guess. I
don't want to hear you talking about mine then.
I got the Mastermind Creations Jaguar from Joe, and he threw a bunch of random stuff in there. Threw in a RID Blast Wave, a undersized knockoff Cheetor, and for some reason a Street Fighter Blanca figure.
Because why not?
Pretty much. I've got
hey, Brad,
I can tell you exactly why. He was trying to get rid of his junk.
Yeah.
That's why.
Brad,
TMD garbage disposal.
TM2DB wants to know if that was a KO Tripredicus behind you with the lime green, the orange, and the blue. wants to see it.
Where did he see that at? No, yeah, it is over there.
And also ask how we're getting all these cool KOs. I'll have you know, we are not.
This one came
I did not pay for that. So, anyways, I got the Marvel Legends 80th anniversary Stan Lee figure. I got the Marvel Legends Dark Beast. Got a Halo Revel Warthog model kit. And I got the Rumble and Frenzy from Perfect Effect.
Got a bunch of stuff. Hey, so Brett, does the backpack not plug into the back?
It literally.
It doesn't have the rotate to turn around.
If you look, there's actually a peg that holds the whole thing on. There's no
right, yeah, but you're supposed to turn the crab butt around, and there's pegs on the legs. It doesn't rotate.
This part, it goes like that. Yeah. But it doesn't.
You're not doing it right. You're definitely not doing it right.
It doesn't plug to anything.
Okay, so like the gray part's supposed to be underneath, like that where that green piece plugs in. It's supposed to accordion up.
Oh god, that word.
Into it.
Yeah. Before you plug them in. Yeah. See now, look, now you can do it. So like, yeah. So accordion.
Oh.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's supposed to.
Well, see, this has to go down here to have the peg straight up and down. Otherwise, the peg goes away.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah. See.
Why would they do something so reckless?
Are you trying to reason with KOs?
Yeah, I'm trying to
reason with KOs. Look, I don't sit there and reason with it. I just appreciate it for what it is. It's just goofy looking.
Ugly Fat.
In Tyler's case, he could not appreciate it. So.
Ugly Fat. My boy Ugly Fat. He answered TM2DB, said Thailand is where you get all the cool videos. Yeah. He's not wrong. There was a website that I came across one time. They had like a crazy neon like G2 colors Dinobot that I was very tempted to get. Very tempted.
And I finally got a Scalar that has the correct paint. So
Scalar, which one is? Oh, your little fellow with the eye.
Yep,
I gotcha. Well, that's good, man. You got you a bunch of stuff this week.
I did
that stimulus check. I can't say shit. I got a mighty haul as well. Hey, Tyler. First, where can people find you? Second, did you get anything this week?
You can find me everywhere. Brady let the Eagles win. That win meant nothing. Fuck your childhood.
How dare you? How dare you? Fuck Tom Brady.
No, I didn't get anything this week, but I made a couple purchases that I think have changed the trajectory of my collecting.
Uh-oh.
So I'm really excited.
Yeah, man. Tyler's giving up the Beast Wars. He's not He's not going in on him anymore.
That's not true,
Mm.
but it's also not exactly false either.
Man, he has a kid, and his whole personality changes.
You know what, honestly, you
Well,
know what it
as a
is,
father-
and I make it cut off because my computer is forcing a restart like it does every time we start up the episode. So I'm gonna have to switch to my phone. But it's just, I want to get out. Like, being a collector is fun and whatever, but like, I just want to get out. So it's only fitting. The way that I got in was, the way that brought me back in was through the War for Cybertron, Fall of Cybertron games, and I see it only fitting is that's the way I should leave. So
I wish I
thought,
put as much thought into the hobby, too. Because
Yeah, I
I
guess
don't.
so.
I'm just like it, get it. You know?
Yeah.
Mindless.
Football.
I don't know. I've met a lot of good people through the fandom, obviously, like you guys and some others. But like, I've met some real fucking divas and prima donnas and just some scummy pieces of shit. And you
Hey,
guys
I'm right
can use your
here.
imagination to figure out which is which. But I don't know, man. I just it's the longer I stay here, the more I realize it's not really the crowd for me.
Well, we got a topic just for you later on tonight.
Wow.
Dope. But yeah, so I'm in for a penny, in for a pound with these Planet X figures, and then I'm done outside of like keeping up with Masterpiece and just topping off my Beast Wars stuff. But like, I'm also gonna like, I don't think I'm gonna collect any more video game stuff either. Like, I think I'm just done with collecting toys after the Masterpiece line runs its course.
Oh, it sounds to me
Sorry,
like
Team
you're
TM2
redirecting
DB
your-
said like Dakota and Brother Kyle say, yeah, like Jed. We also got input in the chat. What's up, input? Yeah, man. So you're working on your exit strategy then.
That's it.
Too many alpha personalities in a toy collecting hobby. And that's
Not even
something.
honestly, it's not even alpha personalities, man. It's a bunch of bitches. That's what it is. It's like, if you ever walked into a room and it's supposed to be called a fucking party. You ever walked into a room and it's supposed to be a party, but it's just a bunch of fucking weird dudes sitting around drinking girly drinks that are filled with sugar, not even talking to each other. They're just looking at their phones. Like, that's
Personally
what
attacked.
this fucking Transformers fandom can be. Like, fuck this whole fandom, man.
Man, you can get off my girly drinks though.
Yeah, I bet you fucking do drink that shit.
Take a vodka and Red Bull, please.
I'll take a Mike's Hard Lemonade.
Mike's Hard
Fuck out of
Lemonade.
here.
Instead of like girly drinks, not children's drinks. Hey, Candace, did you get anything this week?
I did, guys. I got my first ever Cyber Shark.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. Tyler would be proud of me. I love him. He's only missing his right fin in beast mode. Little fin on the
Oh
side.
no.
Mm.
We'll find you a
I
junker.
know.
We'll get them all top.
Joe will probably have a junker. To be fair, hit up Joe in the chat.
There's someone in here that might have that part.
No, Joe takes all my Beast Wars parts.
Oh, he just jacks them from you?
That's why when he said John, I'm thinking, yeah.
Yeah.
It's up Brett in the DMs like, Father, do you have any more scraps for your child?
Dude, Joe's wild, man. He's just like, I'm bored. I just want to rebuy the whole line again. I'm like, why, dude? You got it 3 times over. He's like, yeah, I know, but I want to buy it all again. I'm like, bro.
Now I want to buy it piece by piece.
Yeah.
So I got that, and I also finally got my Beast General Megatron. He's so tiny and so cute. So tiny.
The what?
That's what's up.
The toy
Beast
world.
General, aka Megatron.
Toy World. Oh, okay. That
Itty
thing that,
bitty.
yeah, I still have Tyler's. I still haven't even pulled it, like, taken it out yet.
Yeah, you trash.
Yeah, I really am, dude. Like, I'm not excited by that thing. Like, deep down at my core, I know I want to like take it out and mess with it, but like, dude, I look at the box and I'm like, oh, this is depressing.
It's so cute. You should just check it out.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I plan on it. Fortunately, like I'm still waiting on some of Tyler's other stuff to get delivered to my house. So I got time.
Yeah, otherwise he would have sent it out last Friday. We would have never seen that fucking review ever.
Yeah, would have been up to Tyler to put that review up. Like I just wouldn't have done it.
Tyler, you sure that you're not wanting to get out of the collecting, not because of the toys, but because of who sends stuff to you and how long it takes?
Well, Brett, I'll have you know. So there was a transaction you and I had about a certain shellfish type character with a stinger on the back, and I believe that our southern friend here mistook this shellfish type creature.
It's not a shellfish. It's an arachnid.
One of them dirty mud bugs. And he broke the claw open, tried to suck all the juices out, and then realized what he'd done, and just thought if he put it back in the box, no one would notice.
And that's how I caught COVID-19.
Did you have a little smell of like butter or whatever it is that they put on those down there?
No,
the melted
like
garlic butter?
Dank ass fart.
Yeah.
Tyler, it smelled like a dank ass fart. Because
Smelled like a dank ass
wrong.
fart.
Input says difference between a gentleman's drink and a lady's drink is the size of the glass. There you go. Just because it tastes good doesn't mean you have to hate it.
Thought it had to have an umbrella.
Brother
What
Kyle
you
said,
get?
You know, there's
Dakota?
different sizes of ladies, right?
Brother Kyle said, "Oi, speaking of sharks, I went a searching for that hell scream, and I'm not happy with them prices. If anyone has one loose for like 30 bones, let me know." Yeah.
You're
Brother
just not
Kyle,
a
search for
Starscream fan. No, he's just not a
Search-
real Starscream fan. Real Starscream fan wouldn't let money dictate his happiness.
I agree, but also search for Universe Overbite and just take some rubbing alcohol to that Decepticon symbol on.
I mean, your fucking TFCon's probably going to get postponed, so take all that TFCon money you're putting away and put it towards a fucking a figure worthwhile. Guaranteed it's going to be better than that fucking custom figure that they're going to put out this year.
Oh
It's
man,
another G1 repaint bullshit.
No, it's going to be another Optimus Primal out of that Nova Prime.
I don't know what any of you guys are talking about, but Candace, thank you for asking. I got BotCon 2007 Alpha Tryon, BotCon 2007 box set, and I don't know if it came in prior to last week, but I just saw it. The Blue Eyes Cheetor, I got that from Joe. So, pretty good, pretty good.
It's always
Is
nice
it-
to have action figures to represent the fan fiction you're so passionate about on the shelf.
It really is. That's one of the finer points of the exclusives. They really look great on a shelf, and
All right.
better than whatever else came out around that time.
So my computer is telling me I've got 1 minute and 7 seconds before it restarts, so I'm going to jump in on my phone. I'll be back in a sec.
Sucks. I'm screen sharing. I can't see the StreamYard link. Bummer.
Oh, no. Well, okay, I'll get you guys next week. And
Stop being
remember,
a
fuck
bitch.
Philly.
So what about? We'll see in about 5 minutes after the. You seem to not care about the Beast Bangin' or the episode reviews. I feel like that's the excuse. Is my computer darn.
Yeah, I'll be back.
That's like news and topics. All right. This week we got us a Beast Bangin', and it's of everyone's favorite fire ant, Inferno. So, yay! Unfortunately, there's only one. There's 3 different ways you could have gotten Inferno, but they're all 3 the exact same. Takara didn't do anything crazy awesome with this, like they did with like Dinobot or Rhinox or whoever else, right? It was just the same Kenner Inferno, which not that they needed to, I say that, but I also kind of disagree with that. I really wish they would have just turned all the translucent plastic opaque. That would have been swell because all 3 of mine have the weakest knees in my collection. Yeah, and my Antagony is the same way with the clear plastic, which funny enough, I don't know if it's clear in there. It looks like there's an opaque socket inside this clear piece, but the knees on all three of mine are super weak. One of them is for sure a Takara one. I pulled it out of the box, and then the other two are Hasbro, or at least one I know for sure is Hasbro. The other one I assume is a Hasbro. But they're all identical. You could have gotten him in a versus pack with Cybershark from Japan, single pack from Japan, or obviously single packed in America.
That's probably one of the only versus packs I've never seen.
Yeah, man, it's got to be out there somewhere. That's
got to be pretty tough.
I kind of wonder really if it is or if it ain't, because like I know here in America, Inferno was a bit of a shelf warmer. So I don't know if that happened in Japan or what or not.
No, he came with Transketo, didn't he?
No, that was Baboom. Baboom and Transketo came out at the same time. But Inferno, like it was weird. Like it was, I guess, one of the one-off times where the Predacons in the size class assortment outmatched the Maximals, because you had like Polar Claw, Scorponok, and Inferno all kind of coming out. I don't know what the case ratio was, but it could have been where Inferno came to a case all to his own, and that may explain why there was reports of him being a shelf warmer or a shelf warmer. Fuck, words in this fandom is just atrocious words. So anyways, you can slide the little thing forward on his. I know, I got him. You can slide the little doodad forward in his mouth, and I guess you could plug in one of his back ant legs and fire it from his mouth if you so choose.
Yeah, because fire ants can do that.
Nothing's as intimidating like biting off your own leg and firing it at your enemy.
It's pure badassery. But yeah, so here we see the mixes of Jolly Rancher and Airheads coming together nicely in a very delicious cherry flavor.
Cherry and blue raspberry.
That's right. Dalton knows what I'm talking about. And you could have removed the weapon from his chest piece, which gives him a pert rack. And there is said ant leg plugged in as a missile. Not at all show accurate. But this I found to be kind of show accurate. If you just turn the, I guess, shell part of the little missile launcher around, it looks vaguely reminiscent of his fire gun.
His giant
flamethrower.
That looks like a whole lot of trying hard.
It really is. It really is. But I don't know. It's neat. I dig it.
Especially considering the mandibles, the big mandibles were at the front of the gun in the show. It was just some animation magic bending.
I just can't think of a better figure to be updated than this.
Pterosaur 100% needs it more than Inferno, in my opinion. That said, I'm a fan of Inferno, but I definitely want that Pterosaur first.
Yeah, Inferno's good for now. Just give us a new Pterosaur.
Thank you for agreeing with me. Not ever wavering.
Yo, fuck all of y'all. Give me an Air Razor.
I want Waspinator more than anything right now.
Why would you say something so brave? It's so controversial.
Damn it.
And his butt opened up so you could grab his butt thruster and press a button and make the rotor spin. It was a crazy, awesome gimmick. I don't know why they did it.
Play value.
They did it.
Yeah, do that to make my rotor spin too.
Dude, did you you guys remember the toy commercials where it's like they didn't even transform the legs, they just
stuck them straight out.
Just stuck them straight out and just like started hitting the spinning gimmick and just lifted them up. I thought that shit was fun.
Talk about misrepresentation, man. That shit's got to be wild. Could you imagine like being Hasbro or Kenner or whoever being like, guys, listen, we got this toy and a blaster comes or a thruster comes out of his ass and that's how he flies. And they're like, what, really? Oh, must separate at the legs, rip the crotch in half. like the mouth breathers that you'd have to deal with to do that fucking commercial. My God.
Not wrong.
I don't get it. It's an ant that flies, but it doesn't have wings. That sounds fucking retarded, Anthony.
Let's do it.
But lo and behold, here we are. So yeah, definitely wish nix the translucent plastic. But it's fine. Like I don't see any cracks or breaks or anything like that on any of mine. But yeah, weak knees. He got some very weak knees.
You think with the masterpiece we'll get kind of a metallic paint on him?
I would be surprised if we didn't. I think it would be something similar to like what they did with Black Arachnia, you know?
If they gave us some garbage clear plastic,
They better
for
not.
Inferno, I swear to God, man, I would buy that shit to throw it at the wall.
I would definitely
I'd
buy it
watch
to
it shatter to a
put it
thousand.
put it in the display, but I would hope that it definitely matches the kind of glossy look that Black Arachnia had. Glossy metallic. But hey,
I think it will. I think it will.
yeah, I don't see him doing that. I mean, it makes sense for Burning Convoy because it's just the thing, but I doubt it for Inferno. He didn't really glow in the show. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Speaking of glowing on the show, you can follow our social medias. We're on Instagram at Stasis Lock Podcast. We're on Facebook at Beast Wars. We are on Twitter at Stasis Lock Cast, where you can always email us at stasislockpodcast@gmail.com. Also, thanks to everyone who has subscribed to us recently, because now we have our own YouTube URL. So you can check us out at youtube.com/StasisLock. I think it's just Stasis Lock. I don't think it's podcast. So, and don't forget to join our Facebook group. The Beast Wars Society. It's a buy, sell, trade, and discussion group. We've had lots of member requests. Please answer the questions. There's like 4 or 5 sitting on unanswered questions right now. So don't forget to answer the questions.
I declined them all. You're not going to answer. You're not getting in. Sorry. Price of admission is very simple. If you don't pay, get the fuck out.
Fair enough. Also, last I checked, before we went
channeling
live,
the spirit of Mike. I cut off a couple of toes.
channeling the angry Mike.
Yeah.
Prior to going live, and currently we're sitting at 999 likes on Facebook, so it'd be really awesome if we could get that one to push us over the 1,000 threshold. Robert D, I'm going to call you out. I see you have not liked the page. You've been invited to like the page, and you haven't liked the page. So,
wow.
yeah. You know, Oscar, Deluxe, those are swell guys, man. They like the page. Robert D, how come you don't like the page?
Robert D steady shattered casting my heart.
Yeah. It hurts all of us. It hurts all of us. Anyway, shout out to Shattercast Uncut, man. Those are some good guys. So.
Hell yeah.
Moving on into the news, as always, the Ultra Gear States Lock photo. Bring your masterpiece Cheetor to Pete's Robocon whenever it's going to be. 2020 in Louisville, Kentucky for an epic galloping gyroscopic gathering of the most open Cheetors in one location. And
man, could you imagine doing 8 months of promo for this only for it to be postponed?
I mean, yeah.
Gotta suck.
just add more. Just keep it into the reel. Just keep it into the reel. Announcing our 2020 Stasis Lock exclusive, a can of Terrasol. 99.9% hot gas.
God.
Each can will come with a hand-side placard by Angry Mike.
You remember when people used to huff aerosol? This could be a drug that we sell personally. We're going to patent our own street drug.
Call it Terrasol.
Get high on it. Find your own Energon Mountain to power up.
Get your very own Power Surge.
Damn, dog, you beat me to it. Way better execution.
Tyler, you're slipping.
I believe the credit goes to Candace for mocking this baby up.
That is correct.
Awesome, Candace.
That's where I was getting to. So that was.
Dang, got ourselves a couple of spicy meme lords over here. Fuck, Stasis Lock's been taking off.
She turned it. She did this turnaround really quick. Like it was. I don't think it was like maybe 30 minutes after the show ended. This was posted.
I love it.
Actually, it was like the next day. I was sitting at work really bored, and I thought, why don't I just draw a can of Terrasol or something like that?
That is awesome.
She messaged all of her clients, called up Gary, like, hold the phone, everything's on hold. I need to get this project done ASAP.
People are used to it. It's been 2 months now.
So if you're not following the Stasis Lock Facebook page, you're missing out on some fire memeage.
I'm telling you right now, the only way to block out COVID-19 is to follow us on Facebook.
That's going to get us taken down.
As soon as you hit that like, COVID-19 takes a hike. Let me tell you.
5 minutes later.
Yeah, brother Kyle, message me whenever the feed gets cut. Make it through the news.
It's not like we said anything about waffles.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Rookie mistake.
We got some actual news this week, if you want to call this news. Is this G Creation or Generation Toy? I can't.
Generation Toy.
I don't know how I labeled it in the news. I think it is Generation Toy, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I labeled it Generation Toy. I didn't even think to look. They're all the same.
Didn't G Creation just do like a one-off Dinobot set that combined?
No, they've done some other stuff.
All right.
I think weren't they doing some of the TB stuff as well? It doesn't matter. They're all the same. So this is supposed to be an Ultra Magnus out of their Ape Wing.
It looks like shit.
Okay.
No, it
looks more like
the mold
Nova
is
Prime.
awesome, so.
Yeah, Dalton, I agree with that, man. I think a lot of that has to do with like the gold here in the shins. Like just with the black and the gold definitely gives off more Nova Prime feelies. Candace, are you in for Ultra Ape Wing?
Ultra Wang.
I think I'll hold off.
Yeah. Brett, what about you, man?
Oh, easy pass.
Yeah, pass.
You know why it's an easy pass? I mean, for us anyway, the Beast Wars purists, so to speak. I don't know about you.
We've already got our Ultra Magnus, and it's Ultra Mammoth.
Well, yeah, it's not even that, but it's just like, this just doesn't make any sense. Like, we understand that Magnus is a repaint of Prime, which is where Ultra Mammoth comes into play. But Primal was never a Prime. So repainting Optimus Primal into this Magnus makes little to no sense whatsoever. Like, this is out of touch. It has to be. Unless you just want something that looks like fucking Magnus for the sake of having something that vaguely looks like Magnus.
That's the thing. Like, it really doesn't. It definitely looks way more like Nova Prime than it does. Like, a lot of that is like with the black here on the face. Like, yeah, there's this blue here, but Nova Prime also had that kind of baby blue mixed in with the white and the black.
I'm telling you,
that's I know, man. Like, and maybe it's black chrome because, like the X9 Ravage. And if so, like, I think that's still pretty sharp looking. But like, I mean, I definitely wouldn't get this to be a Magnus for sure. But I guess if you wanted a Beast Wars Nova Primal, like, there's your option for that, maybe.
My question is, who asked for this? Not like literally, but like who would be the person who asked for this? At what point did their marketing team think up, we need to repaint that Primal into Ultra Magnus?
Well, it's because they know that it's an Optimus. Like, that's all that they're like, hey, we made an Optimus. Like, what are some Optimus repaints?
I'm pretty sure
it's just an easy repaint.
This Optimus would be a good repaint for Magnus was an Optimist. Because I don't see this shit selling.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Shattered Glass after this. Honestly. Yeah.
I mean, if they thought
Universe would have been awesome on this.
Dude, Universe colors would make this thing look even more like shit.
It would?
Man.
Yeah.
TM2DB said you don't want an Abominable Snow Monkey. And it's funny because someone on the Stasis Lock page said it looks like a Yeti. And it immediately just brought the Yeti from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer to mind. Now I can't unsee it.
I like it.
Well, see, now I see Brett. I brought one of the cartoons back from 1920s, and Brett sold.
Yep, I remember.
I remember Alamo.
I remember.
Remember Barry?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm definitely not feeling it. Cool for anybody that wants it, but yeah, like I don't know. Like to me, the original was probably about as best as you're gonna get for that mold. Just the regular season 1 primal colors. I don't think Shattered Glass would work. I don't think this works. I don't think Universe would work. I don't Burning would work. I don't
No,
think
you know
Clear
what?
would work.
Burning would work. Do it with
No,
all chrome.
clear definitely wouldn't. But I think burning probably would if you did it in all chrome. And I also think
Oh.
that the universe would work as well.
Well, then you guys should buy
Universe
them.
would have made more sense than this.
You guys should buy them then. You gonna buy them if they make them?
You're right.
Where's that?
This company should.
I
Just,
hear all this money getting plucked down on the table, but no confirmation.
We're saying it would have made. We're saying it would made more sense. We didn't say we'd buy it.
Okay. I don't know. I think apparently there was already a TB sheet for these designs, so I guess this kind of makes more sense. But they didn't match the colors. Like you see where the face mask area is supposed to be white. Like there's this kind of like weird, I guess, kind of bluish gray. But like I don't know. They definitely made it more Nova Prime than they did this TB Ultra Magnus. Maybe that's what's throwing me off about it. I don't know.
Maybe they got
Or it could
confused.
be all this chrome is because of the dark surroundings is coming off as black when it would be silver.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Either way, it's a wash. It's a pass. Get it out of here.
Trash.
Yeah. Good try, TBs, but maybe don't put too much stock in that one. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
Oh, Tyler got
What?
kicked out. There we go.
I'm just
Kabar asked if Chris is getting one. I don't know, man. He probably won't. He probably didn't give a shit about it.
No.
Did he get the original Ape Wang?
I think so.
Oh. Ghost Lord Peter says he would probably get it to go with the Perfect Effect Lio Convoy.
You know what? It would be. It'd be an excellent centerpiece come Christmas time.
Damn it, Tyler.
Dude, shout out to
This
that.
is
Would that even be public domain at this point,
is-
being so old?
This is fucking Sugar from YTV. Fuck that. That was a terrible cover.
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I.
It's Canadian shit. Don't worry about it.
Well, TMTDB said they'd buy it, so I guess there's one sold. We got one sold. Angry Mike in the chat said third party trash. Goodness, Mike. IP theft. All right. So we got us a topic tonight for your amusement. And I think this is going to hit Tyler good and hard, but he'll have to wait till we go down the panel.
That's fine.
What
My
does it
pizza's almost here anyway, so I gotta go get it.
Oh, okay. Thanks for prioritizing us. Tyler's already got one foot out the door. What does a complete collection mean to you? Do you think you'll ever stop collecting? If so, why? So Brett is muted. Now he's not. Brett, what does a complete collection mean to you, and do you think you'll ever stop collecting?
A complete collection, I would say, is. I used to say it was if you got one of everything in that line, but now I would say if you got everything out of that line that you wanted, it would make it complete. And as far as will I ever stop collecting? Absolutely.
Well, why is that?
Because I don't want to pass this on to someone else.
Oh, fair enough.
This is
Dude,
this is a nightmare to give to someone that doesn't want it.
yeah. I was gonna say, like, I completely feel the same way, but like I'm sure there's people that would want You know, I mean, whatever, but I definitely wouldn't pass it
Oh,
on.
the grass is always greener on the other side. I've
Melt
had
it down,
people come and see my collection room and be like, "Oh my god, I want your room." And it's like, all right, cool, go get it then. Jump through all the hurdles. Look at all those shitty fucking aftermarket prices. Go ahead, man. Spend fucking 5 times the amount on a single figure that you don't even know you want, but you want it because you want to brag. Do it up.
Oof.
It's all gloom and doom from here on out, boys.
Yeah, I know, man. Someone get this motherfucker some sugar cubes or something. Golly. All right, Dalton. What about you, man? What does a complete collection mean to you? Do you think you'll ever stop? If so, why?
I mean, it kind of means a lot to me because a lot of these things I've just been collecting for so long. I want to see an end to it at some point. And with the way things are going, it's always getting updated. It's always changing. So there's always a cycle of replacing and selling whatever's, being replaced. I mean, there is a stopping point for sure. Probably not for a while, but it'd probably be the same answer as Brett. Like, I don't want to pass this on to someone else. I'd rather sell it at the end of it and get something out of it.
Where do you think the end of it is?
Hard to say at this point.
Okay. Is it all doom and gloom for you as well?
No.
Okay. Well, that's good.
It's like I enjoy it. I'm going to enjoy it till the end. So.
All right. Tyler.
The end for me looks like a complete Beast Wars collection on top of a complete Planet X collection for the Fall of Cybertron, War for Cybertron stuff, with a couple of video game figures, and then I'm out.
Well, I think you said earlier you were still going to be tracking down MPs and stuff like that too, right?
Oh yeah, that goes hand in hand with like complete Beast Wars collection. Like, not just the mainline stuff, but like the masterpiece stuff. I want to keep up to date with it, and I want to make sure I get at least the season 1 cast because that's what means the most to me. And I'll pick up the third party stuff from here and there, but like I've already left like 90% of the groups I'm in. I think I'm still in the cafe, and obviously I'm in the Beast Wars Society, but like other than that, I don't have a need to be in any of them because like 90% of the community is trash. And I'll be the first one to tell you that I am part of that. I am part of the trash. I make fun of people. I troll people. And it's all just having a good time. But, like, you got to understand that, like, the way me and my friends act and the way that, like, I don't know, we just roast each other. That's just how we talk to each other. But most of these motherfuckers can't take a roast. Most of these motherfuckers take it as a personal goddamn insult. Take it right to their loins and fucking cry about it or spaz about it and fucking call you so many names. You know how many fucking death threats I've had from the community just because I joke with people or I make fun of someone at their expense and they take it personally? Like, people don't know how to use the internet properly, and that's what sours the whole community. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm just happy with my collection. Like, I'm happy with the physical things that I have because I love them, and I'm happy with the friends that I've made. But like, I could not be out of this fucking fandom sooner. Like, I'm on a one-way ticket.
Why don't you just take a step back from it? Just don't interact. Take a break.
Yeah,
like,
maybe.
I mean, I know there's always that kind of want to get in there and just stir the shit up, right? But why don't you just like you refrain from that and just step back and step back and just see how you like it. And if you like me, because there's a lot of people in the hobby that aren't a part of the community. There's a lot of them. There was a dude I met at Robocon, and like, he doesn't have a Facebook. He doesn't do any of that shit. He buys stuff on eBay. And like, we were just talking about like just some of the crazy awesome stuff this dude has. Like, he's got a lot of cool shit, but again, he doesn't partake in the community aspect of the showing off, the buying, selling, the conversation talk, whatever. He just buys the stuff and he just he goes for it, and like that's it. He'll meet up with people at conventions, but there's no screen name to put to this guy, you know. And it was really interesting take on being in the hobby but not being in the community. And he seemed to enjoy the hobby a lot. A lot more than a lot of people that I know who are in the community enjoy it, you know?
I think I know who you're talking about.
You don't. Candace, what about you?
Jeez. I guess I'm sure there would be a point to the end of my collecting when I'm happy with it, I guess. I mean, there's only specific things I really look for. It's not like I need a whole line or the whole season of this or whole that. So I'm just taking it one thing at a time, I guess. Kind of like you guys had said, you don't really want to leave the mess to other people. Although I'm pretty sure my siblings might fight over some of the stuff. So don't tell them I said that.
That's fair.
If we don't have to,
what
it's
was the
out
other
on the
part?
internet.
The other part is, do you think you'll ever stop collecting? If so, why?
Oh. No, I think I covered that for the most part.
Yeah.
If I do, it's just because I'm happy with what I have and I don't need anything else. I'll be pretty satisfied.
Bro, Jed said R.I.P. Tyler. So Tyler could get a catfish account and be all positive and happy.
All right, I'm back. My
So,
pizza showed up, so I had to dip as you were in the middle of that.
Angry Mike says, I know his answer. Nah, man, Angry Mike ain't gonna stop. Like it's gonna be me selling all of his stuff off for his wife and his kid. Just gonna go
He's
up there and
cackling right now.
Make sure one of those fucking scavengers up there in Little Rock, Arkansas don't come pick over his shit for pennies on the dollar. So I'll be taking care of Angry Mike's family on that one. But
Nah, Mike, let this sink in. When you die, Dakota's going to sell all your shit to me at the most bottom dollar. And then he's going to videotape me shitting all over it. Then he's going to send it to your mourning family.
that's the
Then
thing. Like,
we're going to send them back all third-party versions of everything you had.
Woo.
third party stuff.
Woo.
He'll roll over in his grave.
He'd stand up out of the grave.
And that's how the zombie apocalypse started.
This is on there.
all over third party toys. Kabar says, I feel like that sometimes about the fandom, like I am a Transformers fan or a Beast Wars fan. I think I lean more towards Beast Wars fan. I barely log on to the boards and stuff like that anymore. So he also says on the topic of completion, he sees no end in sight. Angry Mike's calling people out. Brett, you wrong too. Brett in the comments. So I think complete to me means like completion. Variants, you know, like I definitely took it that step with Beast Wars. Like it was complete until it wasn't. You know, oh, there's variants. All right, you know, Japanese releases, okay. So I don't know, like that was for that, but for like you know, like the BotCon stuff, like it's not complete until I have all of it. You know, and I'm getting close to having all of it. But like that's all I buy is Beast Wars and BotCon. So I made sure I didn't, you know, screw myself over with that one. You know what I mean? Where I'm not like having to recycle through and replace stuff with newer stuff that comes out like in the Generations line. Like I couldn't imagine doing that. Like, you know, Springer came out back in 2013 and then in 2019 another one came out and then another one's going to come out in 2025. Like at what point? Like where do you stop? You know, that's I just I don't think I can do that. That said, I do think I'll stop collecting. Like there's most certainly an end in sight. Between Masterpiece and just having a Masterpiece display of seasons 1 through 3 of Beast Wars. having the vintage stuff, having all the BotCon stuff. Yeah, as soon as they stop making all that, then I'm done. I'm out. I don't want to be doing this after I'm 35. Like I want to get into other shit, you know?
You want to
That's
enjoy
also
your
a part
midlife
of it.
crisis.
Well, like, no offense to like Mike or to Brett here, but like, I don't understand the appeal at 40 something years old and still wanting to collect toys and shit. Like, it, don't get me wrong, it's fun. It's an awesome hobby to relive your childhood and all that stuff. But like, I just feel like I know Mike and Brett more or less are in it for the money, really. There's some enjoyment there, but like, there's also a business aspect behind it, which there's money to be made. But like,
I would disagree with that. Like, I mean, I know Mike ain't here. Brett can definitely chime in on it if he wants to, but
well, I mean, he's a
like,
vendor, he's a showrunner. There's got to be money in it. If there's not, why is he doing it?
Yeah, but
he does it. So
I wouldn't collect it if
Go ahead,
I was
Brett.
just selling it and running shows and all that.
No, I know, but
because I like it.
I understand that. But what I'm saying is, also having that money behind it, the business aspect behind it, must make it a little different of a hobby for you. Do they not blend
Mike
together, or are they
sells-
two separate things?
Mike sells stuff
no, they
to
definitely
support
together.
the hobby.
I know. I'm talking to Brett right now.
Okay.
Yeah,
I know Mike's different. I'm just talking. I know, but I also know Mike. I also know Mike does Little Rock, and there's a business aspect with that, right? I'm just saying, like, if you didn't have a show to run or a dealer table to set up, would the hobby not feel different compared to what it feels like now?
I don't know, because I went from getting back into this in 2000, well, 99, 2000, and becoming a dealer in like 2002. So it's been so long. I don't know if just by collecting alone, if I would have stuck with it or not. I don't know.
Also, like Brett, that you brought up just something there, just with the time that you got into it, being 99, 2000, a completely different beast. The fandom was a completely different beast. Probably wasn't a beast at all, really. I mean, I don't know how the people were back then opposed to the people that are all in it now.
It was for someone that likes Beast Wars. It's better now than it was back then. Unless you were buying, then it was better then than it is now. So, I mean,
yeah.
Back in 99, in
Look,
2000, my first convention was 2000, and this stuff was pennies on the dollar. So,
True enough.
but
People
no,
seem to be misconstruing
Tyler.
what I'm saying.
No, Tyler, I see what
I'm
you're
not
saying.
saying you don't collect it for fun. I'm saying that the business aspect adds to the fun of collecting in a different way than just collecting toys alone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I said yes, I think it does.
Yeah, people in the chat are going at me like, well, maybe I should just collect guns and fishing poles because it's more grown up. Shot glasses and lighters.
Well, I do collect some of those too, and I don't fish,
Right.
but still.
But like
No,
that completely misses the point of what I'm saying. I'm saying is, like, as an older gentleman who still collects this kind of stuff, the business aspect must be part of the enjoyment of the hobby, because otherwise you're just a 12-year-old.
No, but I said I agree with you. I think it does. Yeah,
Right.
I do. Absolutely. Now, if I hadn't been doing this since 2002, as far as selling, would I still be doing it now? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it would change my opinion or not. I don't know. Probably, but I don't know.
Well, like Jed's a perfect example. He's collected for a long time, or for a while now, but he's also got a business he's starting up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like, I feel like that's got to be part of it. Like, it's not that you just want to collect. It's like you want to do something with it. You want to do something with a hobby. The people, like, I don't want to call anyone out specifically, but like the people that are up there that are just collecting for the sake of collecting with no ambition to do anything with it. It's just weird to me. Like, being that old and not having any ambition to make something out of that. You know what I mean?
I think some people have different ambitions than what you would think. Like some people's ambitions are just to get the collection where they want. Some people's ambitions are to get this stuff, document it, record it, and bring it out in some sort of media for others to enjoy. Or for others to enjoy, and so you can make money. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I can bring it back around to that too.
Yeah.
It's always nice if, and I've said this before, it's always nice if your hobby can also bring you financial gain. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion.
I would agree with that. So, and I know, like, again, just to circle back around to Mike, the table that he runs at his show, like, that's the only time he runs a table. He doesn't get tables at other cons. He goes to buy. That dude, anything he sells, it's going right back into the collection, So.
Yeah.
And I'll say that I've gone through phases too, because for a while there, I was at the very beginning, I definitely was selling to fund my collection, like Mike does. So I think, I'm not going to say everyone, but there's a lot of people that do go through those cycles and they eventually become the dealer to help fund their collection. And, some people don't.
Right. No, and I completely get that.
Input makes a pretty good comment. He says, I'm 35 and collect because of the fun of it. I'm a 10-year-old at heart. And I think, like, at the end of that's probably all of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Holy fuck. Am I just like,
then
am I
Brother
falling
Kyle
into
says
that
hobby.
Micah cycle?
You might be.
Oh,
Well, as a father,
be. Brother Kyle
You guys
says,
just don't get it.
hobby isn't an ambition.
you're not getting it in the middle of a stream, so
That's fucking funny. Mike, you want to weigh in since you're in here now?
Yeah, I have to weigh in now.
There we go.
Let me make sure. Okay, make
this
sure I'm here.
motherfucker interrupted dinner just to come here.
Yeah, right in the middle of my fucking dungeon.
I think we said his name 3 times and he appeared.
Angry Mike. Are you fucking crazy?
Bro, he was like, fuck it. He was like, fuck it. I'm not waiting for the dishes to start. I'm jumping in now, god damn it.
Right. So yeah, on the whole aspect what Tyler was saying about, we do it for the money or the booth or my interest is totally different than Brett's. My wife will say this: I am a fucking child. I collect toys to either play with or have to display. I do not go out specifically to buy my collection to say, okay, this is how much I'm going to make later on down the road. Now, are there toys?
That's not what I was saying, though.
That's the impression I got when you were saying that, though. I mean, because, like you pointed out.
Let me clarify. Because what I was saying was, when you reach that age, does the business aspect of running a con or buying and selling for the sake of buying and selling not play a part into your enjoyment in the hobby instead of just collecting to collect? Like the constant transactions and the running a business, the coordinating and all that kind of stuff, does that not play a part in enjoying the hobby as opposed to just buying stuff, bringing it home, opening it up, putting it on a shelf, never dusting it, and living in your filth?
Oh no, I dust my shit. I can't stand filth.
Speaking of personal attacks,
my green Ramulus is going to be worth so much money with all my dead skin cells on it.
Yeah.
No, so I mean, and kind of like what Dakota had said, and he is right. The only time I sell anything is at my show, and he'll vouch for this. I don't even run the damn table because he runs the table for him. So
there'll be a price tag on a pop, and so someone will offer like 10%, 10% of it, and I'm like, yeah, sure, he'll be all right.
Yeah, so he said specifically is that there's some stuff in my collection that I sell in order to buy more stuff. So I mean, the only time
that's what I'm saying. That business aspect, does that not play a part in your enjoyment in the hobby now?
As far as like reselling and buying more stuff.
Well, resell, it's like investing into this figure so you can make more money to buy these figures.
No, that wasn't the outlook of it at all. It came down to what I really wanted and what had to go. I mean,
I
it's
can
like
relate with that shit 100%.
I mean, I have literally, Dakota knows how many G.I. Joes I have in this house. I literally have like probably less than 25 G.I. Joe figures now. because I sold them all.
After having so many.
And I had over 200-300 of them.
I know.
And
Dakota didn't you just recently sell all your IDW stuff except for the wreckers? So he had this whole giant IDW collection and sold like 4 figures just so we could keep all the records.
I sold them all to buy the 2008 figures. A buddy of mine was telling me he was getting ready to sell, and then there was another buddy of mine that wanted them, and like I offered them up to a few people. But yeah, I mean, I got rid of my Decepticon Justice Division. I got rid of my Lost Light shelf. I kept 2 or 3, I think, altogether, just like favorites. Like all the DJD are gone. And if they ever re-released Tarn, I'll probably pick Tarn up just because I felt the seller's regret packing that thing up. But right now it's too much money on the aftermarket. It's not worth it. But like I kept the SXS Hot Flame just because I loved IDW Rodimus in Lost Light. And I kept Make Toys Swerve and Make Toys Tailgate because I really like those characters in those books. Like it came down to just character appreciation. And, I've got the model kit for the Megatron. So, like I still have the favorites, but I was able to dump those for a significant amount of what that full 2008 set was going to cost me, and that's why I did it. Sold to put right back into at the end of the day.
Just to point out about people selling stuff, that Beast Wars Megatron we were talking about, it ended at $3,500.
God,
wow, the 07.
06, yeah, the 06.
Yeah,
there was a sealed 06 Megatron and Waspinator set on eBay, and it was at like $2,000 for several days.
Yep.
And I get a message from Mike earlier saying, "Hey, that Megatron's at $3,000." I was like, "Oh,
$3,550 is what it ended at.
Wow,
$3,550. I'm never touching that thing again."
Plus $8 shipping. This son of a bitch. You couldn't even. Free shipping.
Dude, at $3,000, I think I'd like hand deliver that thing.
That was on eBay.
Reach around.
That was on eBay.
Right.
Yeah, that's sold on eBay.
I can imagine if it was on the boards, he probably docks them. We'd probably get that 4% out of them too for fees. Buyer pays PayPal fees.
Oh, you just take 10% right off the top off eBay.
Yeah.
That's $355.
that's nuts.
But hey, when you probably got less
4% plus
$75,
40 cents, or is it 3% plus 40 cents? I can't remember, but it's one of those percentages plus 40 cents essentially.
4 cents.
Okay. Yeah, dude.
$35.
That's rough. That's so rough. Like so much fear in owning these things now. Like but anyways, Kabar mentioned something. I want to catch up on some of these comments. He says that his focus is shifting more towards games now, which if you think Beast Wars are expensive, hate to say it, but look at
Dude, I'm in the exact same boat, man. Like I picked up all the McFarlane Borderlands figures. I think I'm missing two of them. I picked up the Gears of War Storm collectibles. Is it Storm? No, yeah, Storm collectibles.
not video game figures,
Storm
video game
Sideshow.
video games. He's saying video games.
Oh, I'm talking about video game figures though.
Yeah, Kabar was just talking about the video games themselves.
Yeah, and I'm talking about video game figures.
Oh, okay. Well,
is there a
way to make it
disconnect?
all about you?
Either way, I've gone down like the video game side as well. Not the games, but the figures. Have to clarify for someone whose beard is not real.
It's a very real beard, and you're jealous of it because you can only grow it in patches. You little baby face fuck.
Yeah. Fucking 29 going on 55 looking ass.
So, Ugly Fat says, personally, I'm in both areas. I collect as an investment and a hobby. He's 29.
Investment would be considered scalping, and you'll get fried for that on the boards.
Oh, Mike. I wanted to. I think it was Kabar was saying that in the chat, like he posted the screenshot. He was like, "This is why I don't sign on to the boards anymore." I didn't see where you had like been looking at the chat, and I wanted to be like, the reason I stopped was some dickhead scalping all the masterpiece Grimlocks up in Arkansas.
Who was that son of a
That's
bitch?
funny.
Was it Brian Russell?
I don't know, man.
Swinging it
Kabar,
back
no,
real
the one that sold a year ago sold at $3,000. So 3,500 is a new height.
A new
So,
record.
yeah. So, I guess I'll answer the question. Ugly fat it says taxes and stimulus checks.
Hey, there you go.
So, I definitely will stop collecting at some point, just because there is an end in sight. I have a finite space, and I don't want to like have a garage full of boxes. And I say that, shout out to my boy Rick, Shattered Glass Jazz. Whenever I was looking for all those Beast Wars bio cards, he was like, "Yeah, man, I got all the card backs and folded boxes and everything in my garage. I just gotta look for them." Because he keeps boxes, he'll throw boxes out whenever he gets ready to do some spring cleaning. But Rick buys a bunch. My man's always buying. So I don't know. I don't know if I have that kind of drive. You know, I definitely want to see the end of my labors. I don't want it to be a continual thing. But that will, I guess, lead us into the next part of this topic. If you decide to quit, would you sell everything or keep it all in anticipation of one day returning to the hobby? And I will let Brett go first.
There are a few things that, when I said the collection, there are a few things that I will never sell, mostly for sentimental reasons. But as far as if I sold my collection, would I if I was getting out, would I sell it or would I keep it? I would definitely sell it. Because I'd also am of the mind that if I decide to get out, I don't want to talk myself back into going back into it.
What are like when you say you would keep a few pieces for sentimental value? Are you talking like 5 pieces, 10 pieces, 2 pieces?
Maybe 10.
Yeah. That Optimal Optimus prototype is going to go to me, right?
No,
That's not going to be one of them.
See, this is how I know.
That's one of them?
It's about his money, because he said he will. There's some things that he just can't sell. Some sentimental pieces. Not once did he say that selling ass was off the table. I respect your hustle, Brett.
There you go.
So you said the Optimal Optimus was one of them?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. So there's a chance.
No.
Tell
that is
Angie
one of
steak
them.
and lobster dinner's still on the table.
That will never be for sale.
Just tell Angie dinner's still on the table.
Yeah.
So just
Right.
it's there. It's there as an option. All right. Dalton, what about you, man?
I mean, it's one of those one or the other questions. You can't have it both ways, which makes it difficult to answer. Because there are definitely some I would want to keep if I sell the collection.
But okay, but if you like, so when you decide to quit, like it's
If I
really
decide to
simple.
quit, I'd probably be done, and I'd keep the few that I do have.
The few, Jesus, man, you got a bunch of stuff.
Well, no, the few that I want to keep, I'll keep. The rest will go.
All Energon and stuff like that you're going to keep?
No.
The childhood stuff. Oh, you would keep your childhood
That's
stuff.
only because he couldn't get rid of it.
You tell me right now
Mike.
that you would keep the Beast Wars over the G1, or I swear to God, we are going to vote you off this island so fast.
It'd be the Beast Wars masterpiece over the G1 masterpiece.
Not a
He
boy.
says that now, but as soon as we get off, he's going
No.
to fuck Tyler's G1 comment.
No, I'm being honest. Like, I've gotten more enjoyment out of the Beast Wars masterpiece than I have with any of the G1 style figures that I have.
That's because he keeps breaking the G1.
And sit in the back.
Right?
Oof.
I was one time.
Yeah, give it time.
It was
What was
one time.
What was it?
It was Hound.
It was G1.
Mm-hmm.
The
That's
plot
what I thought.
thickens.
Hey man, it's not just G1 collectors. He does that shit too. I remember a certain loyal convoy.
You break your line.
Mike, what about you, man?
What was the question again? I've walked
Oh,
out.
did you break Loud Convoy?
No.
I thought he
Oh.
said he did. It's like, damn,
Yeah.
I have finger in that shit.
Mike, if you decide to quit, would you sell it or keep it all in anticipation of one day returning to the hobby?
Keeping it. I ain't
That's
giving
what I
none of my
thought.
shit to none of you fuckers.
Didn't you see my comment? You better
Which
start
one?
selling. No, you got toes in the grave already.
Oh no, that's gonna be someone else. That's gonna be somebody else's problem.
They're in a jar somewhere with formaldehyde.
It's going to be my problem.
It's gonna be your problem.
You know who he's going to call?
Nobody, 'cause I'll be dead.
Tyler, what about you, man?
Well, since I'm on my way out, I think when I'm done, like I'm just gonna keep what I have, and I'm just gonna. I don't even know if I can be considered done, because like I before I left to go get my dinner, you were saying like why don't you scale back, and I think that's kind of what I've done. Like I'm scaling back, and it's like I'm planning an exodus, but if I'm gonna keep up with the Masterpiece Beast Wars stuff, and the Legends Beast Wars stuff, and go after the Planet X stuff. How am I really if they're going to continue to keep coming out with that stuff? I mean, until it's done, like I think once I'm complete in my collection and once I have everything that I want, I'm going to keep it. Now, as a kind of caveat, I hope I'm using that right. I think the only time I would get rid of anything, like I'm going to keep it all. And it's not like a keeping one toe in. It's like I'm complete and I'm done. Like it's a in and out type deal for me. But it's like, as far as like selling it all, there wouldn't be anything that I would keep if it came down to like, if there was a point where I knew I was going to die and I had to pass this on to somebody else, I would not pass this on to anybody else. Because this is like, to me, it's a hobby. It's something I love. It's something I enjoy. But to everyone else around me, if I was to just dump this on them, it's a fucking burden.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And that's the last thing I could do to my family, especially like my wife and my son. Like if I found out I had like 3 months to live, I would spend my last 3 months selling off all my shit to make sure that my family got top dollar for everything, instead of just leaving it to them or someone else to sell my shit for me in hopes that they get like $3 or $4 grand.
Yeah,
Just because they
a buddy
didn't
of
want to
mine
go
I
through
know
all the trouble.
is doing that right now. Like that's what he. Just because it's so much to leave to his family. Now he doesn't have like they didn't give him like some kind of time to live, but he had a run in with his own mortality rather, and it caused him to want to just start dumping like 90% of it.
I think about that too. Hey, Mike, look at what Kabar wrote.
You
I don't know
this.
if it's a typo. If it's a typo, that's one thing. If it's not, that's funny.
He says you could just donate it all to Toes for Tots.
Oh god.
That's
Oh
awesome.
man,
It's too good.
so Tyler, you're pretty much at,
Man,
like,
Mike's
if you
been eating
quit-
like shit the past little while just because he wants to catch up to Josh Fisher. He doesn't want Josh Fisher being the only peg leg around here.
Yo, shout out to MPSB Theater.
Hell yeah.
Candace, what about you? If you decide to quit, would you sell everything or keep it all in anticipation of one day returning to the hobby?
I can't imagine not having it. I would keep, but it wouldn't be in anticipation of continuing it. It would just be mostly sentimental. The show means so much to me that I don't know. It would be very, very difficult for me
She'll
to
have her own mausoleum.
You mean a lot to Stasis Lock too.
Mausoleum.
Tyler.
What is that? What is that, Tyler?
I said you mean a lot to Stasis Lock too.
Oh, that's what I meant.
Hey, Dalton, you just gave me something to think about. So rather than sell the whole collection, I could just spend the rest of my inheritance and get a mausoleum and have someone recreate my room in the mausoleum when I die and have it buried with me. There you go. Problem solved.
Hey, you're talking like me now.
There you go.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
Dakota's
So
I have to watch out for Mike being a grave robber.
Oh, well, you gotta worry about Jim more than you do me.
something tells me that if he was to rob
could
your
trip him.
grave, it wouldn't be for your toys. It would be for your toy. You know what I'm saying?
It'd be for your toes, actually.
I was gonna say toes.
I do have all my
Get
toes.
Red's toes onto him.
By that time,
Take a
he
little
would
piece.
only be a torso. He'd get the whole fucking both legs cut off.
Just the
He'd just be a
bottom.
torso wheeling over to the grave. Just pay a couple of little skinny Daltons to dig up the grave. Crack whips and whatnot.
Man. So,
Brutal.
not if, but when I do decide to quit, I definitely don't plan on selling everything. Like I said, I want to be out at 35, but that doesn't mean I want to just dump it all.
Freedom 35.
I guess the end game, like I don't know. I'd want to put my money into something else. I feel like at 35, that would be, I don't know, 16, 17 years in. I think that's enough time. That's enough time to have devoted to this one thing.
If only you devoted
I would
that
want-
kind of attention to college.
Yeah, if only.
You'd be a
If only.
fucking doctor.
If only. Yeah, no, and not a chance.
You know what? I
Um,
bet that's why your mom leaves candles burning all night.
Probably.
Looking for it.
Well, not anymore. No, man. Like college is a mistake, and anyone who doesn't see that was duped into thinking it wasn't a mistake before their brain was fully developed. But no, man. Like I would definitely keep it. Like just having something to display, to be proud of, I guess, just to see, to catalog, to know that that these things are there, and this is something that was important to my childhood. Just a little piece to kind of hang on to. Definitely not with the intentions. Like I definitely wouldn't be keeping it with the anticipation of one day returning. There is an end in sight. Alternatively, I wouldn't sell anything. Like if I was given 3 months to live, I would buy a crucible and start melting everything down. Doing it myself. I would just have a large round plastic chunk of plastic to look at.
Little bits of metal
That's
here and
all
there.
my achievements. Stick it in the casket. Anyone who wanted all these prototypes and the screen Ramulus are just gonna have to settle with the fact that I destroyed it because I enjoyed it and it was mine and no one else's.
Jesus.
Dakota was that kid in the playground that would pop the ball instead of passing it over to little Timmy.
Rip the tires off the little Tonka trucks.
I brought a ball to school. It's my ball. You can't touch it. No, teacher, you can't make me. See this knife? Psh, now no one can have it.
It's funny, man, because like anyone would attest, like I'm very like you want to touch it, like go ahead. Like whenever like whenever I opened the G2 breakdown, anybody who wanted to just mess with it, I just kind of handed it off to them.
But if somebody wanted to
$600
buy
figure.
it, you would have snapped that thing in half.
Yes, that was the difference. If you want to enjoy it, I'm all about enjoying with others, but at the end of the day, it's mine. So yeah, it's kind of weird.
Well, all right.
Yeah,
that's fine.
I think that Kabar says forge it into a Mjolnir and use it to beat haters up at cons. Just a big plastic hammer.
Or a full suit of armor, depending on which fanboy.
Plastic
you are.
armor.
Jed asked, would you replicate your entire collection in VR and then sell the physical versions? No.
No.
That is don't buy digital comics. They're not real.
Bruh, as
Not
soon as
tangible.
that shit takes off, they're gonna charge you masterpiece prices for VR masterpiece figures.
Fuck off with
No,
that.
son. No.
Brett, what about you, man? You just would sell off all the physical stuff to have your VR collection?
I don't know. I was just thinking about that. If I'm dead, it's there. I
Yeah.
ain't gonna look at it. I ain't gonna touch it. Sure, why not?
Won't be nothing there to touch.
There you go, Jed. You got the other 40-year-old on board with your Tron fucking vision of the future. All right.
That's that futuristic stuff.
Yes,
right?
program.
What are we touching now?
Your virtual collection. You sell your physical collection just to have a virtual collection.
Mike gonna get him some virtual toes.
I would. I'd be all over that. Matter of fact, I get a couple extra just in case the other ones went out.
So, like, I imagine this.
Dims is my spares.
I imagine this utopia that Jed is building for a collection to be kind of like Ready Player One, in which case Mike's avatar would have both legs, and it would be weird because both legs would have both toes or all toes.
It would be such a joyful sight. Oh,
Brett, where can people find you?
Mega Must Mega 2010 on Facebook.
Dalton, where can people find you?
Everywhere Daltonians DFs.
Mike.
Eat a taco.
All right, Tyler.
Fuck you, Dakota. Your mom gives me butterfly kisses on my nipples.
Holy fuck! Oh my god! I
Tyler.
just spit my taco
Fuck
out.
you, Tyler. Candace, where can people find you at?
Canned Ice Santora or Candace Santora?
Awesome. You can find me everywhere at Primal Sabbath. And before you leave, you should check out some shows on the Cool Table Network, such as Shattercast Uncut, Into the Realm, Toy Detox, Big Bang, Beers, Bolts, 40K, Plus, Fanatics, Breaking the Mold, Areas Radio, Fish Communications, Building Up to It, Verbally Challenged, Smash Shit Piece of Theater, and there's a Spoken Total Package, Blackout and Shout All queued up off the rest Cybercast Galactic Gumbo around 30 minutes with our boy Matthew Deluxe Baldwin. We didn't get cut off this week, so yay. We'll
What's
see you next.
Galactic Gumbo?
Canceled.
It's like a chowder, isn't it?
Mike just said canceled.
Must have got to TF Twitter.